Great setting in the Dome here. One of the best locations to see a football game, and this crowd is primed, hoping the Colts, coming home after their big win in Atlanta, can do something today. Quan Bray, who was given the return something meaningful for the Colts after two big ones against the Falcons last week, will return the opening kickoff. The Buccaneers won the toss, deferred. They'll get the ball in the second half, so the Colts get it first. And Connor Barth will kick off for the Buccaneers. And Bray looking to return and will on the run from the 2. And Bray is buried as he crosses the 15-yard line. So Matt Hasselbeck, who is 3-0 as a starter with 5 touchdowns, coming on to lead this team in place of Andrew Luck. They say about 3 more weeks before Luck, with the lacerated kidney and torn abdominal muscle, could return. And starting from the 17.
Let's go! 15! 59!
Fake a handoff, and the ball is batted by William Golston, the defensive end. So trying to throw on first down.
One of the things you're going to see with Matt Hasselbeck right away is he's been well schooled. He knows exactly where he wants to go with the ball, especially if they're in this standard Tampa cover 2. Golston felt that it was a quick throw. The first thing your coach should do, get your hands up. Well played.
Roll 5-8, lucky. Go! 5!
On second down and 10, out of the shotgun, and the pass is caught, and that'll be a first down to Dwayne Allen, the tight end. So the Colt offense, and Rob Chudzinski took over after the Carolina loss as the offensive coordinator. They got the changes up front, man.
Yeah, Joe Wright's on and Denzo Good. Those two have to play well here today. I do believe, just watching this Tampa Bay Buccaneer defense, they can get after the quarterback pretty well. It's going to be on these 2 young tackles if they can hold up.
2 tight ends, gain of 11 on that play.
Red 80! Red hit!
And here's Gore carrying for the first time and carrying defenders out beyond the 30-yard line and picking up 3 yards. So the Tampa Bay defense, last 4 weeks allowing only 17 points a game, getting the good pass rush from McCoy and Smith.
They are getting the pass rush there, but the difference really has been Sterling Moore and 38. However you say 38. Jude, that kid can play.
You mean I.J. Barima?
That guy. When they've been playing a lot more man coverage.
Second down and 7, and the first penalty of the game. Walt Coleman in his 27th year.
Nutrients wrong infraction, defense, 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
Jacquez Smith, and that's been one of the problems for the Bucs.
Yeah, don't beat yourself. But here's the bottom line. When they were able to get those 2 young corners playing, they've been able to mix their coverages. So they're not just the regular old Tampa cover 2. They mix them, and that has made them a better defense.
Moore coming over from the Cowboys, and Barima, a rookie from Bowling Green. So now second and 2. Manageable, and the quick to the out is incomplete. Low pass thrown that time to Andre Johnson, and that will bring up third down. And there is Chuck Pagano, old school head coach, very close to Bruce Arians, who of course took over for him when he had his health problems, Pagano, and won.
And patient, and understands how to develop a team, and understands also that it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And so Pagano has watched this team, and it's changed as the season's gone on, especially with Hasselbeck under center.
They've had some turbulence with the change in coordinator. So now third and 2.
Ready! Ready!
Looking one way, throwing up the middle, completing to T.Y. Hilton, their top wide receiver, and a first down, getting 7.
Dick, I want you to see he's going to have some time. Wright is on the right side. He's going to do a nice job, and Good over here does a nice job of just getting his hands. He understands that the ball's going to come out quick. So Hilton's going to sit down right in the middle of that zone. One of the things we talked about at the start, it bears repeating, the experience of Hasselbeck. He sees things fast. The ball comes out of his hands fast.
From the 43.
5-1, 5-1! Hurry, hurry! Go!
Gore has some room, and making a good play and slowing him down was Quan Alexander, the rookie from LSU, limiting Gore to only 4 yards.
See Hasselbeck come to the line of scrimmage. He's very, very familiar with playing against that cover 2 scheme. He's seen it for 20 years. And so he also understands not only the holes in the defense when you're throwing, but the weaknesses in the run game. So he came up and does the counter side, called the scissors, gets him to the outside.
Moving it up slowly, 2nd down and 6 are the Colts near midfield.
Red 80! Ready, high!
Again to Gore, going to the right again, and a terrific defensive play by Bradley McDougald, the free safety, who undercut Gore and limits him, and a loss of 1.
Yeah, that's just good eyes by McDougald. You see him, number 30. That's called running the lane. The safety, the corner is going to be on the outside. Your job is to get between the backer and that corner, and you're a free hitter. You've got to make that play. It's incumbent upon the secondary to make open field tackles, or they'll have a long day.
See if the Buccaneers can stop Hasselbeck and company. 8th play of the drive. It'll be 3rd and 7.
Ready, 80! Ready, high!
All the receivers on the left side, and that's where Hasselbeck throws, and it's complete for a 1st down to Dante Moncrief. Hasselbeck with a 9-yard pass, and they continue into Bucs territory.
Yeah, but look at this. That is beautiful. That's a lot of time to throw. He separates himself. His eyes are where they have to be, and the ball is coming out quick. That's the recipe that they'll have to follow if they're going to have success against this defense.
And Matt's getting a lot of protection there.
Outstanding protection. That's the whole key. And he's able to distance himself, get away from the line. That's exactly what they want to do.
1st down on the 45. Gore, the running back, is to the lower part of your picture. Empty backfield on 1st down. And the protection, I guess a good coverage sack, you may want to call it that, by Gerald McCoy, man.
Yeah, that's what you should call it. He was trying to get down the field to the right side first, and there's nothing there. You're going to see it against Hilton. Nicely done on the top side. Going down on the 9 round, up above. Again, staying on top of the coverage, not able to get there. What that does is slows things down, and the sack.
Loss of 4, 2nd and 14. And that hard count is going to allow the Colts to pick up 5 yards, and we'll have an offsides call against Tampa Bay, and it looked like McCoy had jumped.
Neutral zone infraction, number 93, defense. 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
Joe Cullen is the defensive line coach, and they teach first sound, but you have to temper it with a lot of film study and understand the quarterback's cadence. And so when you get that first sound and you're twitching, you got to exercise a little bit of caution in there as well.
Now 2nd and 9, and up the middle, and another completion short of the 1st down by a yard to Dwayne Allen, his 2nd reception of the game, and gaining 8 yards. Well, the Colts in contention for the division title and a wild card as well, as we take a look at the AFC South. Houston playing New Orleans today, and let's not forget Jacksonville lurking a game behind.
Yeah, this is very competitive, and it's going to continue. The thing that's most impressive about it is they're starting to play their best football now. You have young quarterbacks like Jameis Winston. You got the Colts. You got down in Tennessee with Marcus Mariota. They're starting to play their best football now.
Ahmad Bradshaw in for the first time, and they hand off to Gore, and Gore carries the mail. So Bradshaw, good receiver. They had both of the tailbacks in the game at the same time, and instead a 5-yard gain and a 1st down to the 31 of Tampa Bay.
Yeah, but this really is all about the interior, right inside these 3 guys. Watch them get their hands on people nice and low, and a good job of Gore of lowering his pads. Watch him lower his pads. See, all you have at the top of the pads to hit. That's tough to do. Gore's been doing that for years.
He has, and he's been a workhorse this year despite a quad contusion toward the end of the Falcon game. He was banged up in the 4th quarter. Now Bradshaw is the one back. Play action to Ahmad Bradshaw, and the pass off of his hands, incomplete. He was open, and I think he would have had the 1st down.
He would have had a shot at it, because if he would continue on that route, it's a little arrow route back underneath. Once you get to the inside, what Hasselbeck's doing right now is he's attacking the inside of that cover 2. Traditionally, that's always been the weak spot of a cover 2, particularly the Tampa 2, where they take the middle backer and run them deep. There creates a void in the middle, and that's what he's taking advantage of.
And Matt, one thing the Colts have done, and they kept the defense on the field for a long time.
Absolutely.
Ready, hit!
Second down and 10, and another drop, this time by T.Y. Hilton. So the last 2 passes by Hasselbeck were on the mark, but dropped by Bradshaw and Hilton respectively. That'll bring up third down.
Yeah, but he got pressure on the outside. You can see that coming from 95 there.
Little over his head.
Yeah, but good pressure, and it came quick. He jumped inside the tight end and got in his face.
So now third down and 10, and so far they've been perfect. 3 for 3 the Colts have on third downs.
Blue five, high! Ready, ready, high!
Hasselbeck, here comes the pressure, and the pass is tipped. Incomplete at the line, and the Buccaneers finally will get the Colts to try the field goal. Levante David, who had 2 interceptions last week, including a touchdown, got a hand on it.
Well, they're going to get some pressure off the top side. See, they bring the numbers, and they come with a. But you can see right here, just nicked his arm. It still had an opportunity. They showed you a cover 2, and then they rolled the coverage.
Game winner last week by Vinatieri, and this will be a 49-yarder for the oldest player in the NFL. And what do you expect? 42 years old, the oldest player, Adam Vinatieri, has been doing it for years and doing it well. Colts take a 3-0 lead over the Bucs.
Today's game is sponsored by Southwest Transparency. Low fares, nothing to hide.
Long scoring drive, using up nearly 7 minutes, but they had to settle for 3.
Yeah, and you'd count that as a win for the Tampa Bay defense. There's a lot of plays they had. 15 plays and you gave 3 points. You'll take that.
That's Pat McAfee and Bobby Rainey you saw in the end zone for the Buccaneers. And he'll get the ball for the first time from the 20-yard line. And it's going to look at Jameis Winston leading the Bucs after we return.
Today's game is sponsored by Budweiser. Make a plan to make it home.
Jameis Winston, 5 touchdown passes, tied for the most all-time by a rookie, to 5 different receivers last week as the Buccaneers routed the Eagles, and it looks like everyone's doing that to Philadelphia.
Yeah. I watched that game tape, Dick. That was the softest defense I've seen in a long time.
And the handoff to Doug Martin, who gained over 200 yards. Took a look at the improved Buccaneer offense, and boy, the focus has to be on Doug Martin.
It is Doug Martin, but it's also that offensive line with Evan Smith now having a start, and having Evans and Jackson back. So it's the old conversation with the chicken or the egg. Well, to me, it's this run game that's propelled the way Jameis Winston has been able to develop. And that's Doug Martin in that offensive line.
Second and 4, once again to Martin. And Martin will have the first down. Very tough to bring down, and when he gets ahead of steam, forget about it, as he gets 7 yards. Now the Colts defense, they've been a little shaky against the pass, and Davis and Toller are shorter corners against taller receivers.
Yeah, and they're not real big up front. You know, the linebacking crew is, with Quan Alexander, and they're not a real big group.
From the 33, first down. Make it 3 to Doug Martin. And Martin takes 3 Colts to bring him down after a short gain.
We're talking about those linebackers, Jarrell Freeman, DeQuell Jackson. Those guys can really run, and they're very good with their eyes. They see things, they diagnose things well, they get to the ball extremely well, but they're not real big people. And so they have to stack them inside. Sometimes you can take advantage of that if you can start to pound on them and get a big body on them.
Jackson, of course, with a big interception that helped the Colts beat the Falcons last week. Second down and 9. First pass attempt by Winston, and it is caught by Mike Evans for a first down at midfield, picking up 16 yards.
Well, the route's nice and easy. You're going to leverage it. You're going to see they're dropping. They're sitting in the zone. And so he's just running to where no one else is. That is the part that works well with it, is they have a little bit of play action that draws the backers up and then creates the void. Evans takes care of it.
Evans has 20 more catches than the next leading receiver for Tampa Bay, and he's been on fire the last 5 weeks. First in, 10, the pitch is to Martin. Not this time, and the Colts are there, led by David Perry, the nose tackle, and a loss of 1. Now for a game break, let's go out to LA and check in with Mike Hill.
Guys, Sexton trying to keep pace with the Colts in the South. Brian Hoyer back in the start lineup, finds Ryan Griffin for the 10-yard pass. His first TD of the season. First opening drive points for Houston this season, 7-0 Texans. Back to you, Peaches and Herb, Dick and Matt, reunited, and it feels so good.
Okay, Mike. You want to take that singing act on the road, Mike. Second down and 11. Chased out of the pocket and throwing it incomplete, intended for Jackson. And
But
good
smart.
pressure.
Yeah, it's smart though, Dick. And so they're trying to move him outside the pocket, look for another down. That's okay. You could see a big difference in Jameis Winston. They've had an interesting season. And here on this third down, this with the limited amount of experience he's got to draw on now. He's been in these situations before. He's got to be able to make a play, but not turn the ball over.
Great numbers on the road. 10 touchdowns, 1 pick, but now third and long, 3rd and 11. Again, pressure, and Jackson trying to keep both feet in, and he does. It's ruled a catch.
There's the catch, there's control, there's 1 foot, 2 foot. Ooh, that was a tap, but he had it. And he had control of the ball, and that's a good job by the officials. 1, 2, that's all you need. Look at the official standing right there. He had a perfect view of it.
And this pass thrown incomplete, intended for Jackson again. That was a 15-yard catch. And it'll be 2nd down and 10. And a penalty flag is down.
You know how fast that goes, Dick, that, we sit at home, you're like, oh, how do you do that? And the officials are right on it. And they get more right than they get wrong. But this game is moving faster and faster, especially as I get older.
Passing before your very eyes.
Yeah, how about it?
By the way, Vontae Davis was defending against Jackson. They thought he would be on Evans most of the time in this game. And a long conference for Walt Coleman and company.
Well, you'd rather have them caucus and get it right than not.
12 men on the defense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
So it'll be 1st and 5. Let's see that Jackson reception and tap dance again.
Well, there are 2 keys to it. Does he have control of the ball, and does he get both feet in bounds? So there's the catch and control, and both were down. 1, 2, see it? And on the backside, what you don't see is Kendall Langford get a nice little hit on Jameis Winston. Welcomes him to the dome.
Tell you, so far in this first drive, the Colts are putting good pressure on him.
Yeah, they are.
First down and 5. Here is Martin. Tough to bring down. He gets the first down inside the 25 before DeQuell Jackson makes the tackle. Not easy to tackle Doug Martin.
Yeah, well, he's not a real tall guy, but he gets even smaller. Watch him lower himself, run low, get down. Right there. See how he finishes this thing off? He is very comfortable running in all the muck inside.
He got 7 that time. First down. Martin gets hit and finally brought down for what'll be a loss of 1 yard by Robert Mathis. In the NFC South, well, forget about winning the division, but Atlanta has been faltering, and they are 6-4, and the Bucs a game behind them, and they've already owned a win over Atlanta in Atlanta.
And they're not going to catch Carolina, but here's the thing. It's, again, not how you start, it's how you finish. Lovie Smith understands that as well as anybody. This team is a team on the rise, and they are getting better as the season's gone on.
And by the way, I know you're excited about this. Minnesota leading Atlanta already in their game.
There you go.
2nd and 11. Here is Doug Martin. Heavy dose of Doug Martin early, and DeQuell Jackson brings him down after a gain of 5. Already 7 attempts by Martin in this first drive for the Bucs.
But they're getting to 3rd and manageable, and that's what they need. So 3rd and 5, and you're in good shape. There's Dirk Cutter, the offensive coordinator. It's a lot easier. There's a lot more plays available on that sheet at 3rd and 5 than it is at 3rd and 10.
And right now the Buccaneers need 6 for the first down. Already in field goal range, obviously, at the 20. Good protection and going deep for Evans. And good coverage that time by Vontae Davis. The pass was tough to get in any event.
Well, and Vontae Davis knew he had no help over the top. So he's got to get in that hip pocket right away. He understands that Evans is much bigger than him. You see on the top side, there's nothing back here. That means you're on an island. And so once you get on that hip pocket, the high ball is going to kill you.
So 4th down, and Connor Barth will look to tie the game with a 38-yard attempt. He's missed just 2 field goal tries this year. And this kick is good. And the Bucs and the Colts are tied 3-3. Winston and Evans, the 2 big guns in this offense, discussing things.
Today's game is sponsored by the Ford F-150. Every other truck is history. By Pizza Hut's Triple Treat Box. Make any night a holiday. And by State Farm. It pays to double check. Talk to your agent today.
Not just on Thanksgiving, but the charity work never ends for NFL players. As you look at the Buccaneers bench, 2 long drives by each team. 12 plays for the Bucs, 15 for the Colts, both resulting in field goals.
Quite a hirsute group there.
And they have got a lot of hair, too, on there.
Not only that.
Quan Bray running out from the end zone. And Bray gets Bray to the 15 and hit hard by Josh Keys.
Josh Keys, man, he came down full speed, and it was that sudden stop that got him.
Impressive opening drives for both teams, but they had to settle for 3. Good 3rd down defense when it counted.
Hey, go! Hey, kill! Ready! Ready!
From the 15, Frank Gore. He'll get a couple. Well, one of the greats. He was a quarterback when he played. Long time ago, but a great coach on the Ring of Honor here in Indianapolis, Ted Marchibroda.
Well, Coach Marchibroda did a lot for the Colts and a great influence in the National Football League, offensive-minded, and Bill Belichick is one who counts him as one of the guys who brought him along and was able to mentor him. He's influenced a lot of people.
And Bill Belichick pays homage to all of those people, too. 2nd down and 9. Fake the handoff. Pump once, pass caught, losing the helmet as well is Andre Johnson, but he has the first down out to the 38, getting 22.
Yeah, it starts inside. If you're going to block this Tampa Bay defensive front, it has to start with McCoy up front. And then because you have him blocked, he's got time to be able to get back to the middle of the field, which it takes time to get there. And he has it from the offensive line, and Hasselbeck's right on it.
So they get it out to the 38. First catch by Johnson, and there is the pitch to Frank Gore. And Gore with the Buccaneers, young Buccaneer team led by Danny Lansana, the strong side backer, gets to him.
I have always loved Frank Gore. I think Frank Gore is an outstanding football player. And the thing that sets him apart is he loves to play. He loves the game. You know, a group of guys came through the University of Miami, and they all loved playing football. And it was important to them. and he's one of those guys. He's fun to be around on the football field because it is important to him.
And great career numbers as well. 2nd down and 12 after the loss. They go back out to Gore. And a good tackle made that time by Levante David, limiting Gore, whose biggest game this year was 98 yards to only 3.
Well, Levante David can flat out fly. He might be one of the fastest guys. He might be the fastest guy in the field, and he's inside. Not a real big guy, but I'll tell you, he's really developed well out of Nebraska. They cover him up. He's kind of a scheme guy, but boy, he plays this defense exceptionally well.
3rd and 9. Ahmad Bradshaw in the backfield now. Good receiver, but in there to block, and this pass is incomplete. Flag goes down as one of the Colt receivers got knocked off, and that was the tight end Kobe Fleener. And it appears the Buccaneers will be called for a push right there.
Trip, yeah.
Pass interference, number 30, defense. Ball be placed at the spot of the foul. First down.
And Bradley
He's
McDougal
slowly but surely getting in there. They're going to have to be in their top game, because if he gets rolling inside, that's a big guy to stop. Gerald McCoy, I would say probably one of the top 2 guys in the league at his position.
16-yard penalty and a first down on the Bucs 45. Gore back in the game. This is a play action. Plenty of time for Hasselbeck, and he completes the pass to T.Y. Hilton. And Hilton is knocked out of bounds at the 14-yard line by Sterling Moore. Big play, the biggest of the game, 31 yards.
The whole thing happens because of the protection. Yeah, and T.Y. Hilton, this is a crossing route. It's an over route. This takes a lot of time to develop, even though Hilton can fly. What they're doing, they're clearing out the top side. They bring Hilton from the other side to fill the void. It only happens because the offensive line gives him time.
He's made big play catches all year, and he did it right here. And a timeout as the first quarter comes to an end. We're all tied 3-3. In case you don't know what we look at or for or like, Dick Stockton, Matt Millen, Peter Schrager with us here in Indianapolis. We start the second quarter. Matt.
I'd rather put Schrager's name under my face. I look a little better.
That you're distinguished. First and 10 on the 14 as we start the second quarter. Frank Gore off the left side and gets to the 13-yard line. Well, we talked about the contrast in quarterbacks. You know, actually, Jameis Winston was born when Matt Hasselbeck was a freshman at Boston College, and it goes from there, man.
Well, and both of them are doing it their own separate ways. And so he's in his 13th year. Jameis is still in high school. He's 21, he's 40, but they still have the same goals. They still have the same aspirations. They both want to win. They're just doing it and coming at it from different spots.
2nd and 7. Slant, caught, first down to Dante Moncrief.
That was really well done by Dante Moncrief. Man-to-man on the top side. And he knows he's getting it. And so they're going to try to take something away. You see how he took him to the inside? Really, really well done. Have a young corner, and it's good, tough coverage. He got his hands on him, but Moncrief beat him to the inside, and Hasselbeck was there with the ball.
First and goal at the 5. Moncrief leads the team with 5 touchdown receptions. And Ahmad Bradshaw, another good receiver out of the backfield in there.
Hey, run it, hurry! There you go!
He'll run it though, and he won't get anywhere.
That's Barima. That's outstanding by Barima. Coming off the edge, he's got to be able to hold that edge, Dick. He has to be the guy to make the play. They're going to try to bounce it outside. Watch 38 in your screen. But he sees it. Now don't get fooled. You can't get down too far. Now inside out, don't give it up. That is really well done.
You talked about the 2 corners the last 3 games made an impact, and they did there. Barima with a loss of 4 for Bradshaw. This is the 9th play of the drive. 2nd and goal from the 9. Hasselbeck looking for somebody. And finally throwing it away once again. Good coverage by the Bucs secondary.
And good experience by the quarterback. We talked about that maturity. There it is. Though he's getting pressure, he's going to feel it from the top side. And so now he feels Jacquez Smith coming off that. He knows he can't outrun him, so just live for another down.
And Andrew Luck has been a big help to Matt Hasselbeck with the new coordinator. He's got the plays on his wrist, and Luck has been a big assistant to him. It'll be 3rd down and goal. Hasselbeck to the end zone and thrown out of the end zone. Good coverage on T.Y. Hilton by Sterling Moore, the former Cowboy. So the Buccaneers, who are facing a 1st and goal at the 5, their defense holds.
So as long as you get the 3-point, that's a win defensively. So Hasselbeck has a nice drive. They make a couple of big plays. They have him good on 3rd down again when they have to come up with a play. Good coverage, and he throws it out of the back of the end zone.
Vinatieri with a 27-yard try. And the Colts have taken a 6-3 lead. Well, another scoring drive of over 10 plays. Hilton's 29-yard catch put the Colts in position, but they couldn't capitalize and get the touchdown. So once again, the defense has won on these drives, and there you see I.J. Barima, or Sterling Moore, along with I.J. Barima, the 2 cornerbacks who have been put in the lineup the last several weeks, and they have paid dividends. And the Buccaneers will start out at the 20-yard line. It's a reunion day after Thanksgiving, and I won't call him a turkey, but he was a good buddy, and really we have a lot of memories with Matt Millen, Dick Stockton. Absolutely. And what do you judge of the long drives resulting in just field goals so far?
Well, it still comes down to you having to be able to play good red zone defense, and that's what both these teams have done. But sooner or later, somebody's going to have to make a big play. Now, there have been some to move them down the field, but it's that red zone where everything changes. The angles change, the defense changes.
So from the 20, second series coming up for Jameis Winston and the Bucs. Going to throw, play action, gets hit as he throws, and the pass incomplete, intended for Vincent Jackson. And good pressure put on that time by Trent Cole and T.Y. McGill.
Yeah, McGill's able to get there with Cole, and they've got to get pressure. But it's a nice deep drop. It's a 7-step drop, so you've got to take some time to develop it. What I like about this off of Winston is he's tough. He is not afraid to stand in there and take the hit and still make the delivered throw.
238 pounds.
Yeah.
When you see him up close, he's bigger than you thought. Second and 10. Fake the pass, hand off to Martin. And Martin will get about 3.5 yards. Well, it all comes down to one game for Michigan State and Iowa. The 5th-ranked Spartans and 4th-ranked Hawkeyes will play for the Big Ten Championship and a possible college football playoff berth. Don't miss a second of the action starting Saturday at 7 Eastern, only on Fox.
Yeah, you saw number 16 there from Iowa, and Aaron Burbridge is the receiver on the left side, but that's C.J. Beathard, Bobby Beathard's grandson, and that kid can play.
3rd down and 7. Winston caught for the 1st down by Vincent Jackson. So once again, no such thing as 3 and out in this game so far, and a gain of 20 yards.
Yeah, well, the route was taken away initially. This is on Jameis Winston. So here's the route he's going to hit. So now that's where it was supposed to happen. Now he just stays with it. This all happens because Winston, you can see him growing up. Get out of there, he sees him, and the ball is thrown with deadly accuracy. That's really well done.
Jackson missed 3 games before he came back and had a touchdown catch against the Eagles last week. Pitch here is to Martin, cutting up the middle, and carries a few defenders close to midfield, getting 6. Time for a game break. Let's check in with Kurt Menefee.
All right, Colt fans won't like this. Houston, Cecil Short's a little run against New Orleans. They've scored their first 2 possessions of the game and lead the Saints 14-0 early on in the 2nd quarter. Dick, Matt?
They won't like this at all, but they got to take care of their own business.
They do.
2nd and 4, just shy of midfield. And here is Martin, and Vontae Davis came in from his cornerback spot, slowed him up, and the rest of the blue shirts took over, and a good defensive play against Doug Martin.
Vontae Davis, number 21. Now he has to see, he knows he's got the edge. He's got to make a play. Most corners, you want to make your running back have a one-on-one with the corner. They're usually not good tacklers. Vontae Davis dispelled that and sets up this 3rd down.
And they need 5. This crowd in full throat. Looking for the stop here on 3rd and 5. Low snap, roll out by Winston, and it's caught by Evans, and a first down. Connecting on big 3rd down passes is Jameis Winston, and that good for 17 yards.
And Dick, it's how he's doing it. Now, this is a great call by Dirk Cutter. So he knows he's going to get pressure, so he moves the pocket until you move Evans with him. And Evans is a big, strong, powerful guy. And once you get on the top side of the defender, Winston sees it because he's been able to buy time, and it's a big first down.
How about this guy's poise, Winston?
Outstanding.
2nd catch for Evans. Play action and going deep and overthrowing Evans by a mile.
Yeah, and he did that. He was feeling pressure, so he just got rid of it. That's a smart play. So now you're 2nd down, no loss. But now you're getting closer down in here to the red zone, and this is where both teams have faltered. The red zone deep, now they're not quite there yet, so you take a shot just outside of it. But Winston's been, on 3rd down, he's 3 for 4. They've had some 3rd and longs. He's been pretty good.
Jackson and Evans each have 2 catches, but Evans is on the sideline, as you saw there, on 2nd down and 10.
Timeout.
And we will have our first timeout of the game called by the Buccaneers.
Today's game is sponsored by Citizen Echo Drive, powered by Light. It never needs a battery. By Sprint, switch today and save. And by Miller Lite, back in its original bottle, but not for long. It's Miller time.
You go in that last play, and you're going to see Mike Evans. And so he just kind of shuts it down right about there. So they weren't on the same page. He wasn't real thrilled about that. And so he's tried to straighten things out on the sideline before he gets back in. They got to get on the same page.
Evans is back in, and Charles Sims, the running back, now split wide left on 2nd and 10. Looking that way. Nothing there. And on the run, pass caught by Jackson again. I think Jackson needs the breather and not Evans the way that's going right here. And it'll be a first down for the Buccaneers.
Yeah, but Dick, this is all in this offensive line. So they come with 4-man rush, and it's no match. And because of the rush, you're able to sit down. So there's your route. Now it sits down in the hole. And because he has time to be able to survey the field, it's a first down.
22 yards. Now the Bucs threaten. First down on the 14. Here is Sims trying to turn the corner. Does not get out of bounds. And Clayton Geathers, who has been playing at strong safety for the injured Mike Adams. Valuable loss for them. So the Buccaneers have been a big play offense this year, really doing better than they have been. They've been known as a poor offensive team, no longer. 2nd and 12. Now from the 16.
Redirecting his protection.
Up the middle, good catch by Sims as he gets to about the 10. And Jarrell Freeman, the weak side backer, on the tackle. They get 7 there, and that'll bring up 3rd down.
So nothing mattered up until this point if you are this Indianapolis Colt defense. You've got to be able to stop them again. They've driven the field, but this 3rd down in the red zone is where you have to come up big.
And so far, all the defenses have come up big on 3rd down in there. Sims in the backfield with Winston.
He's singled up down the bottom.
3rd and 5, penalty marker down, and a false start call will go against the Bucs.
False start, number 13, offense. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
And it was Mike Evans guilty, so it'll be 3rd down, but longer. 3rd and 10.
Evans was singled down there all alone. There you can see it right down here. There's a lot of green behind him. That's where you want to go.
3 wide receivers and the tight end Cameron Braid are split on 3rd and 10. Winston on the run, and the catch is made by Braid for a first down. Cameron Braid, the Harvard economics major who had a touchdown against Atlanta, shows he can play a little too, and gets the first down, picking up 12.
Well, this is on Winston. You're just seeing the young guy just grow, and he is. This is not the norm. Keeps his eyes down the field, feels the pressure. This is inherent. You have it, you don't have it, and he's got it.
Yeah, Robert Mathis almost got to him. 12th play of the drive. First down and goal. And here is Martin. And Martin gets a bit closer. It'll be 2nd and goal. Langford prevented a further advance. Pickup of 2.
John going on down there. That never hurt anybody. Kind of picks things up inside.
Staying away from it all is this man who's waiting to get back on the field and hoping his defense can do the job again. Evans goes out. Kevin Pamphile is in there as an extra offensive lineman. 2 tight ends on 2nd and goal. What do? You pitch it to Martin, and Martin scores for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But a flag is down in the process.
Well, you bring in big bodies like Pamphile for a reason.
Holding, number 64, offense.
And it was an extra
heavy
man. Pamphile guilty of holding there.
You bring him in not to hold, however.
Really?
Yeah, you can see him. He's right here, number 64. So you're going to run behind him. It's just a big man. And he gets his hands up high. Right there is what they're going to call. That's what they'd see.
And Pamphile coming off the field. And as a result of the hold, it'll be 2nd down and goal back to the 12. That is the 5th penalty called against the Buccaneers. And that is something that has plagued them even when they started to win 3 of their last 4.
Yeah, you don't beat yourself. Here's the matchup down here again. Let's see if he doesn't get help from the safety sitting right here.
Second and goal. Winston lost it, trying to go to Martin, the running back. But good coverage that time on Martin out of the backfield.
Okay, so this is what they're going to do. They know they have that matchup, so they're going to run things down here and bring them to the outside. And all you're going to try to do is try to create a space for that back. You try to pick the inside backer. He took a hit with the throw, but that was the right place to go. Sets up this 3rd down.
Trent Cole hit him, and Jarrell Freeman was on the coverage. So now play number 14 of this drive. 3rd and goal from the 12.
Yeah, it looks like they're showing man. With the bottom of your screen, Vontae Davis down below.
Winston getting pressure. His throw, and it's incomplete. Intended for Adam Humphries. And covered well, but Kendall Langford putting pressure on. Tell you, the Colts have gotten close to Winston so many times so far in this half.
And both these teams have gotten pressure on the respective quarterbacks. And it's the young buck here with his feet who's able to buy some extra time. Langford this time giving him chase. He just wasn't as accurate as he would like to have been. And so look, counted as a win again for that Indianapolis Colt defense inside that red zone.
Connor Barth, who connected on a 38-yard field goal earlier. This will be from 30. 30-yard field goal attempt, and that will tie the game 6-6. An intense game, a lot at stake. Playoff implications, we're all tied. This is like Groundhog Day, this game. Long drives, defensive stops, settling for field goals. That's been the recurring theme in this game.
Couple of mistakes. Pamphile on that last one, that's a mistake, a big one.
When you're on the 7, that's something, it's a big difference. Quan Bray running it out. And Bray has been clobbered every time he has run it out. He had big returns of 36 and 34 yards last week against Atlanta. And there is Kevin Pamphile explaining, well, why he made a huge mistake there.
Today's game is sponsored by Ram Trucks. Guts, glory, Ram.
Back here in Indianapolis, we have had no punts. Each team has had 2 drives, 4 field goals. That's the story as Matt Hasselbeck starts the Colts from the 20.
5-4!
Here's Gore. Nothing. Thanks to Tony McDaniel. Let's go down to Peter Schrager.
Dick, Matt Hasselbeck is now 3-0 as a starter after the age of 40. First guy to do that since Warren Moon did it a few years back. And last week, he threw a lateral pass to Joe Wright, the tackle. Wright kind of slid before the first down. Everyone was asking Hasselbeck about it afterwards. He said it was a midlife crisis play. He's also said a few things. One of the big differences now of being a quarterback in the league when he was younger, he said that he goes home, his kids, they know him as NFL quarterback Matt Hasselbeck, not as daddy. And they start asking him questions. And his daughter's got a fantasy football team, Dick? Yeah, she doesn't have Matt Hasselbeck on that squad.
Nice.
Well, you know, he's a backup, and this time a drop pass by Frank Gore after pressure by Tony McDaniel.
The thing about Matt Hasselbeck, I had a nice conversation with him. I've known him for a long time, and I talked to him about that Wright's throw last week, and he's like, yeah, my inner Favre came out. He said sometimes, you know, you're just reacting, and that's what happens. And so right now in his 3rd long, he's going to have to react the right way.
He texted Brett Favre during that great ceremony in Lambeau with Bart Starr in the picture. That was a poignant moment. 3rd down and 10, and now a timeout called by the Colts. So each team has called 1 timeout. We have 4:52 remaining in the first half. Back here in Indianapolis, Dick Stockton reunited with Matt Millen, Peter Schrager on the sideline. It'll be 3rd down and 10 from the Colt 21 for Matt Hasselbeck.
Oh, he moved!
He moved. Finally, they threw the flag. Somebody did. Henry Melton? Just a vote.
Well, they got that finger pointing game going on down there, so.
Don't believe it till you see it from the official.
Yeah, he did move. Henry Melton took advantage of it. Let's see how they interpret it.
Number 90, defense. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
So now Lovie Smith a bit aggravated over that call because instead of 39, now it's 3rd down and 4.
Well, he does that. That's tight end. He would have the ability to be able to step back and then shift. And then I don't know if that's what they considered, but you're still in 3rd and 4 instead of 3rd and 9.
Yeah, officially 3rd down and 5. Lamont Bradshaw in the game as a receiver out of the backfield, but Hasselbeck, and it's tipped by Levante David. Well, David had a slow start this year, Matt, but he has picked up his game big time.
Yeah, and he's one of the guys in this defense that's the main cogs. And so he's in pass coverage, he's very good at reading the eyes of quarterbacks. So you've got to be able to be pretty darn sharp. Looked like Quan Alexander had a chance of maybe getting a tip on that also. But both those guys, Alexander 58 and 54 Levante David, they both read the eyes of the quarterbacks very well.
Well, the Colts have good kickers. McAfee headed for another Pro Bowl. And Vinatieri you know about. And good hang time
nice kick
for Bobby Rainey. And Rainey at the 18 breaks 1 tackle, stays on his feet, and then is brought down just shy of the 25. Chuck Pagano, old school coach. You're going to love the Pagano-isms that we have for you. You can read them. I'll read them. You talk. Control the controllables.
Absolutely. Right? Why wouldn't you?
Okay. The play doesn't care who makes it.
That's actually a very good saying.
Iron sharpens iron as man sharpens man. So I understand all that.
Chuck Pagani, that last one's scriptural, so I know he's doing the right thing there. But this guy, he has a lot of Yogi Berra-ism type of things that come out of his mouth. He's fun to be around, but he's an outstanding coach.
First down for the Buccaneers. On the 24. Play fake. Pressure on Winston. And a flag goes down.
It's going to be on Vontae Davis.
I'll tell you, the Colts are getting in there to quell Jackson that time. Watch Davis. Yeah.
He's on him. Okay, he's still fine at the start. It was after that 5 yards, that's what's going to get him.
Pass interference, number 13.
Oh, offensive.
10-yard penalty, still first down.
Offensive. Yeah, the first 5 yards, he's fine. Vontae Davis gets his hands on him.
But what did Evans do to him?
Maybe call him a bad name or something like that. You never know. So, okay, you get 5 yards. There's the hit. You're fine. Run with it now. Disengage.
Oh, the helmet. Put his hand on the helmet.
Yeah, that's
trying to bury him, Matt.
Yeah, I know. They're going to make that call. That's the call.
First and 20. Set back to the 14. Going to go to Martin up the middle. Here's Martin. Still going. Watch Doug Martin. And finally brought down by Darius Butler, who is trying to strip the ball away. You let Martin get any kind of room, he'll burn you. 2 big runs last week, 56 right here.
Yeah, and watch the great vision that he has, Dick. Everybody's assignment right now. He sees it to the left. Bang, get back out there. You see subtly how he sets up his blockers. Just that extra step. What he doesn't have is that extra gear to be able to win. That's a nice job by Jackson to give him that little extra room to run.
He had 58 and 84-yard runs to set up touchdowns last week. And here is Sims coming in as Martin deserves a breather. And he gets to the 24 for a gain of 6 as we check in with Mike Hill on a game break.
Guys, Bengals and Rams and Tyler Eifert, great for your fantasy team, even better for the Cincinnati Bengals. 22-yard touchdown catch from Andy Dalton, his league-leading 12th of the season. 17-7 Bengals in the second. Dick, Matt, back to you.
All right, Mike, thank you very much. And in the process, Doug Martin going over 1,000 yards for the second time. He has 90 already in this game, needed 59. And here is Winston. Winston is going to slide smartly. It'll be no gain on the play, but again, Langford coming in strong for the Colts.
Yeah, Langford beat the top side, and he was in there right away. I think that's against Gosder Charles, number 78. And so Langford gives them the best shot at getting a rush one-on-one. You can see him right at the top of your screen, sitting up there. Oh, he worked against Evans, so he came back down inside. Still third and manageable. Winston's feet are still, you still have to take care of his feet.
Sims and Bobby Rainey flank Winston on 3rd and 4 from the 24. The throw, and it's caught and looked like forward progress.
Incomplete.
Now incomplete. Initial signal, and I guess the official was waiting before he saw whether Evans had held onto it with Toller on him.
Let's see if he has it all the way through the catch. Then they have to determine where that is.
I thought forward progress, if he had caught it, would have been enough for the first down.
Let's see if he has control. There's the catch. Does he have control? See, we can't. It's tough. It looks like he did have control.
I thought he had control.
I can't see.
He might have bobbled it,
but away from his body. It's a great shot at him. That's control. That's
2-minute warning, meanwhile.
Yeah, that's a catch.
That's what I think.
I wouldn't
Get apps, videos, and more at iTunes.com/NFL.
The ruling on the previous play is a completed catch and a first down.
Waiting for the red flag. If Chuck Pagano may not throw it.
Yeah, he has control. It is a catch, and he is throwing the flag.
Now he is, yes.
I do believe he's going to lose this one.
I think you're right. It looked like he had the forward progress, and we saw that he had the catch. The forward progress to the 19.
Now, Dick, what they may say he does have the catch. Did he have control after he crossed the line?
Really on the field of a
backwards?
completed catch.
High drama with 2 minutes to go in the first half here in Indy.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is confirmed. We have a catch and a first down. Indianapolis will be charged with their second team timeout.
Yeah, and that's the exact right call. He gets past the first down. There's the catch. He does have control all the way through. Right here, so that the catch is a catch. It's not an incompletion. Even if you look at it at the end, he's down. It would be down by contact because he still has control of the football. Yeah, that's a good call by the officials.
And a big play.
Absolutely a big play. Sets up first down.
At the 20-yard line, so only one timeout left for the Colts. Doug Martin with two tight ends and receivers to the left. Winston, pass, caught, touchdown, Cameron Brake. His second in as many games, a 20-yard touchdown pass. Jameis Winston growing by the week in poise, leadership, accuracy, you name it. As Matt said, he's got it. And the first touchdown of the game.
And that is a really, really tough catch by Brake. Watch the reception. You can see the tight end. He's on the right side of your screen. Jameis Winston sees it right away. He sees the hole in the zone as Brake did, and the ball is right where it has to be. That's good job. Hold on to the ball. It's a nice shot he takes at the end. Not bad for Harvard.
No, he said, how am I going to use my time? But all I do is now play football, so that was solved. But the kick by Connor Barth is good. The first, he missed it. Missed it to the left. Well, so the elation over Brate's touchdown catch is dampened here. Started out good, but he hooked it, and it's now 12-6.
Nick, you can just see Jameis Winston. You know, I went back. It's been a weird season for them. So they had 5 games, and then their bye, and 5 more. So I went back and looked at the first few games, and he wasn't seeing things as fast. The ball wasn't coming out as fast. And in the last 3 weeks, you could really see a huge difference. Man, he understands what he's looking at. He makes very quick decisions. He's redirecting things at the line of scrimmage. All the things you like to see a young quarterback get good at, he's doing. And this right here, this is good stuff. So now he'll go back and they'll discuss the whole thing with Dirk Cutter, his offensive coordinator. They get on the same page. It's important that the coordinator and the quarterback are seeing the same things. You have to have the same eyes.
Connor Barth, who missed his first PAT of his career, and Quan Bray coming out with under 2 minutes to go. Well, it's 12-6. We're getting close to halftime. The Brady Bunch is back in LA. Let's go to Kurt. What's up?
Coming up on the Visa Halftime, this wild bunch and I will have highlights of all the early games for you, including Alex Smith and the Chiefs trying to win their 5th straight game. And then, is that Glazer? What's going on? Find out at halftime.
Either Glazer was standing in a hole or he's not that tall, but I think that Bradshaw was Marsha. He could have been Marsha Brady. That's what I'm thinking.
I think you may be right. Matt Hasselbeck directing traffic with one arm, and the catch is made to the 45 by Kobe Fleener. So going right to work to try to get a touchdown and maybe a conversion to take the lead is Hasselbeck.
You said it right. Did you see how he directed right in the middle of that thing? He knew exactly where to go, and he moved him with his left hand, delivered it with his right. That's really good stuff.
First down at the 36. Remember, only one timeout left for the Colts after missing on the challenge. They get it out to Avon Bradshaw for a short gain of 2. First catch of the game for Bradshaw, and I.J. Barima on the stop.
This is that previous play, and I want you to go into play action. Now watch him. Watch. He knows where he wants Fleener to go. Move over to the left. And he has the wherewithal to do it and then still deliver it while still taking a hit. That's a great catch, too.
The ageless wonder, Matt Hasselbeck. What a backup job he's done. Bang-up backup job. And in this quarter, second down and 9. Dumps it off to a Bradshaw. Bradshaw stays on his feet after the initial hit and almost gets the first down yardage. Doesn't get out of bounds, however, and the clock continues to run. Juan Alexander,
Third down.
and a 3rd and 1. Under a minute to go.
That's got to hurry here.
Third and 1 pass out of the backfield. Bradshaw first down and will get his way inside the 45. Levante David on the stop. And finally, the timeout is called by the Colts, their 3rd and final of this first half.
So now defensively, what you have to be able to do is handle the sidelines first. You're not going to take a shot from here. They're going to try to get 42 seconds. The first part of this has to be get in field goal range, and then if you do that early enough, then you can take your shot. So defensively, what you have to be able to do is handle the sideline stoppage of the clock first.
But by Barth missing the extra point, a field goal would leave him just a field goal behind.
Correct.
A touchdown could give him the lead.
So the object is to score. You want 6, but if you get 3, you'll take that. So this is really well done right now by Matt Hasselbeck.
Frank Gore back in the game. Bradshaw has been good receiver out of the backfield, and Connor Barth, as we mentioned, the first missed extra point of his career after 164 good ones. So now it's 1st and 10 on the 44 of the Buccaneers.
They're rolling it down.
Incomplete, intended for Hilton.
Yeah, he went to the top side. He had Griff Whalen down below. So what they're doing is they're showing him a cover 2, which Matt loves to look at, and then they're rolling it. This time they roll the safety down, and they're playing man-to-man on the outside.
2nd down and 10, and there is Adam Vinatieri.
All of those looks Matthew Hasselbeck has seen 100 times. It's the decision-making under pressure that separates players.
2nd and 10. Hasselbeck pressure, but completes the pass to the 35, and the forward progress will leave him a yard short of the first down. A flag is down again.
Holding, number 71, offense, 10-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
Griff Whalen caught the pass, but the rookie, Denzel Good in his first start.
Now you can see him right here in front of you against Jacquez Smith, and that's the right call.
Denzel Good out of Mars Hill, a 7th-round draft pick. By the way, that's in North Carolina. Had been inactive in every game coming into this one, and lo and behold, he finds himself starting today at right tackle.
And they're not giving him any help. I mean, that Jacquez Smith kid, he can get the edge. Old 56, see, that kid can get there.
He was out for a while when he came back to pass rush up. 2nd down and 20. Back on the 46 of the Bucs, or the Colts. Hasselbeck has to run with it, and he is tackled at the 45-yard line by Akeem Spence for a loss of 1. Once again, good coverage downfield by Tampa Bay.
All right, they don't have to get back the whole 20, but he's got to work this thing now, and he's got to be on the outside. He's got to work it to the edge.
They need 21 for the first down, and there is the screen pass to Gore, and that's going to take him out of the field goal range as time runs out. So you've got to credit this Tampa Bay defense limiting the Colts to a pair of field goals, although they did march up and down the field a couple of times. And that is the end of the first half. With the score, the Bucs 12, Colts 6. Stay tuned for the Visa halftime report coming up after these messages and a word from your local Fox station. Today's excitement is brought to you by Nissan. And that was today's excitement, brought to you by Nissan. Ready for the second half kickoff. Here are the halftime stats, and Of course, Doug Martin gives Tampa Bay the big edge in rushing, and the rest of it, first downs are even, time of possession, and it's practically an even game. Bobby Rainey will return, and will let it caught in the end zone, touchback. Peter Schrager, what do you have?
Dick, I talked to Chuck Pagano on the way into halftime. He said, we've got to get on the same page. I said, what's that mean? He says, when it's in the red zone, score a touchdown. When it's third down, convert for first downs. Wants to get that going in the second half. Now, Lovie Smith was in a different mood. He was in better spirits. And he says that touchdown was huge because a game like this, when you're going back and forth, possession for possession, a touchdown's all the difference. He wants turnovers. Says that's been our forte all season. We haven't gotten one yet.
They had 4 against Philadelphia last week, Peter. And 17 on the year, starting from the 20. They won the toss deferred, so they get it first here. And the handoff is to Doug Martin. Flag is down. Martin gained 90 yards on 12 carries, including a 56-yard burst in the first half.
Holding, number 83, offense, 10-yard penalty, still first down.
So Vincent Jackson, the receiver, holding.
Dick, this is an important series right here for this Indianapolis Colts defense. If they're going to stay in this thing, they've got to be able to get off with no points. They have been competitive. They've been able to move the ball tit for tat, but right now this is an opportunity for Tampa Bay to be able to go up, and that penalty doesn't help.
You're right, and the Bucs have had 3 possessions and scored on all 3 of them in the first half with the 2 field goals and the touchdown. They missed the extra point. First and 20 from the 10. Throwing from inside his 5 is Jameis Winston. Incomplete, trying to get it to Jackson again. Coverage by Geathers downfield, the strong safety.
Yeah, he had some pressure. Geathers is trying to undercut him, but on the front end, you're going to get a little bit of pressure that he's going to feel from the inside out. Yeah, it was like it was Langford, Kendall Langford, number 90, and he's looking for a holding call. But what he does get is the pressure and 2nd and 20.
Geathers, remember Jumpy Geathers? I know you do.
That's my guy. I love Jumpy Geathers. This is cousin or nephew.
Well, it's a big family. They've had a lot of guys in the NFL. 2nd down and 20, and they flip it out on the screen to Doug Martin, and Martin's going to be tackled at the 10. Terrific defensive play by the Colts, led by Jarrell Freeman, the linebacker. Only 1 yard.
Dick, why it's such a big deal? First, it sets up 3rd and long. But he's got to be able to get through right here. He's going to have to get through all the mush inside. They want to try to get a blocker on him as quickly as possible, and he does get there, but he's able to fend it off and still make the play. Sets up this 3rd down. That's money play right there.
Joe Hawley, the center, overran him.
Yes.
Giving him the chance. So it's 3rd and 19 now. Big chance for the Colt defense. Is caught by Humphreys, and Humphreys written out of bounds. That's exactly what the Colts wanted, because now the Buccaneers will have to kick from inside their 10-yard line, and Greg Toller on the coverage.
Yeah, so what they tried to do defensively, Dick, was they opened the middle of the field. And so you want your young quarterback to take the bait, and he did. He threw it to the inside, and then everybody converged. And the net result is what you see. It sets up 4th down.
And the first punt of the game for either team. Jacob Shum will be kicking for Tampa the first punt. And looking for field position, Quan Bray, fair catch at the 31. See what Matt Hasselbeck can do with a little shorter field.
Today's game is sponsored by Southwest. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. By Hyundai, an official sponsor of the NFL. By Burger King. Now get 10 chicken nuggets for $1.49 only at BK. And by Microsoft Surface, the official tablet of the NFL.
High school football championship day yesterday here in Indianapolis. State championships were held. And today, it's the NFL with 2 teams fighting for playoff situations. 1st and 10 at the 36. Colts trailing by 6. Hasselbeck with play action on 1st down. Gets a lot of time and completes the pass to T.Y. Hilton into Tampa Bay territory and inside
Yeah, this all comes down to having time to throw. Look at this offensive line. So they keep an extra guy in, and it pays off because T.Y. Hilton is able to get on top in this zone, find the hole, and because he's able to get to that deep outside, it's a huge game. That is really well done by this offensive line who's moved some people around, Dick, and they've really responded well here today.
31 yards, longest play from scrimmage for the Colts. And a first down on the Bucs 33, and here's Hilton again with two defenders. And the two are Sterling Moore and Alteron Burner, the nickelback. And a gain of 7.
Now this is what we're talking about in terms of maturity from Matthew Hasselbeck. You know he's going to come clean. And Matt Hasselbeck knows it because he knows what he has in terms of protection. And so the difference is just get rid of the ball fast. If he knows he has a defender off, he has a free hitter, you get rid of it as quickly as you can. And that's the experience of Matthew Hasselbeck.
Smith got there a little too late that time. So it's second down and 3. To the left. And let's see if it's incomplete, out of bounds to T.Y. Hilton. Peter Schrager with an update.
Hey, Dick, you know, we've been talking about the offensive line, and Matt's been focusing on Joe Wrights. Every NFL player's got a story, but perhaps none is as more interesting as this guy's. He never played a down of college football. He's actually a high school player, both at football and basketball. He was a college hoop star at Western Michigan, started all 4 years, and is the MAC Conference all-time leader in made free throws. So how's he end up in the NFL? Scouts will find you if you got the size. Matt knows all about that. This guy has been a stud today for the Colts.
Nice long arms is what you're looking for. A good length that he can bend. You got a chance.
Third down and 3 with Ahmad Bradshaw now in the backfield. But Hasselbeck going the other way, and what a touch pass he makes to Dante Moncrief, and a first down. Moncrief.
Dante Moncrief, I loved him out of Ole Miss. He's ultra competitive. He wants the ball, and you can see why. He's going to go get it. He'll go up and get that ball, and that's a fantastic catch and a huge first down for this Colt team.
16 yards.
Kill.
Frank Gore is in there. First down on the 11. And they go to Gore. Breaks one tackle, almost breaks another, and gets to the 7-yard line, and upset that he didn't get even more. Gerald McCoy caught up with him after a gain of 4. You talked about the catch by Moncrief, but that pass by Hasselbeck just over the defender.
Beautiful touch by Hasselbeck. I'm expecting that from him already. After 40 years, you'd think he'd have it down by now, and he does. But look at that, a thing of beauty. It amazes me the precision sometimes in this league that these guys come up with, and that was as perfect precision as you're going to find.
Quick pass, knocked down. Great defensive play that time by Bradley McDougald, the free safety, on the pass intended for Johnson.
It's all about the break, Dick. And McDougald did a fantastic job. Watch him come from inside out. Take something away, and then you have to play to it. He cut. That's a great angle and a great burst, because Hasselbeck was feeling Levante David with the pressure.
And now third down and 6. They can get a first down without getting a touchdown. Hasselbeck gets hit and down, losing a yard in the process, and it was Howard Jones, who's also been a big contributor on the defensive line for the Buccaneers, and forcing Vinatieri to come in to try a field goal.
Now watch number 95, Howard Jones. He's right here. Yeah, every time he's on the field, he gives you something. He's got some speed. He's got an ability to mesh inside when they're running the stunts. That's just well done, and a huge play to set up this fourth down.
Henry Melton is the injured player.
Henry Melton, I remember when Henry Melton was coming. Here's the kid. It's head to head, and that's Jacquez Smith and Henry Melton meet at the quarterback, and they met. That's a big time defensive play, and that's head to head. That happens, and that's part of the game.
Say, man, so many injuries that we see are incidental, circumstantial, not done by one player against another.
Friendly fire a lot of times. You just get guys who are, they're just going to come and fire their gun. I played with Ronnie a lot. Ronnie was a great Hall of Fame player, but you better you have your head on a swivel because somebody's getting hit, and it might be you.
Adam Vinatieri will try a 26-yard field goal. He's 2 for 2. Longest from 49 to give the Colts the initial lead, and looking to cut the Bucs lead in half. And the 42-year-old Adam Vinatieri, the oldest player in the league, makes it a 12-9 game, Tampa Bay. Adam Vinatieri, and of course, kicked the winning field goal when the Patriots beat the Rams.
Oh, yeah.
Greatest show on turf in New Orleans, in a stunner when the Rams were the heavy favorites. And that last drive setting up the field goal, classic for Tom Brady and the Patriots.
Yeah, I remember that game well. I remember the rule changes that came out of it with a pass interference on the outside because they roughed up those receivers pretty good. But what a fantastic game.
Pat McAfee kicking off. Bobby Rainey. Bucs will take it out on the 20. Still leading by 3. Well, it all comes down to one game for Michigan State and Iowa. The 5th-ranked Spartans and 4th-ranked Hawkeyes will play for the Big Ten Championship, possible college football playoff berth. It'll be held right here in Indianapolis. Don't miss a second of the action starting Saturday at 7 Eastern, only on Fox. Iowa, what a surprise winner this year.
Yeah, Kirk Ferentz did a fantastic job. I think he does the best job in college football of developing his team. It's not all about recruiting because he doesn't get them all, but he develops what he gets.
Ready.
First down from the 20. Here is Martin. And Martin just gets a couple, but you said at the outset that the team that runs the ball better is going to win, and right now the Buccaneers have outrushed the Colts 95-17.
Yeah, and this offensive line, they've been patient. They've been patient because they know that runner, he's pretty darn good. Doug Martin is patient also, as is Dirk Cutter, their offensive coordinator.
Second and 9. They're going to pass this time, but the pressure is there, and Winston goes down. Well, the Buccaneers have protected him so well. Very few sacks this year, but the on-rushing Colt defense, they haven't kept him out. Eric Walden, loss of 11.
Yeah, right here. This right here, he does a nice job of coming and making a miss, and that's what Winston saw right away. And then on the top side, there was nowhere to go because he had another defender, so he just wanted to cut his losses, and Walden finished it off. That's great defense.
Only 17 sacks allowed coming into this game, 5th fewest in the league. But the Colts have been back there all day. 3rd and 19.
They have been, they're 5 out of 8 here on 3rd down.
And the screen pass over the head of Martin. And 4th down coming up. Pressure, you can say that on almost every play, that time by Robert Mathis.
Yeah, there's a little shift right now, Dick. You can feel it. There's a little bit of shift going back to Indianapolis. I think that what we had at the end of the half was the Tampa Bay Bucs were kind of they're feeling pretty good about themselves, but the start of this half, it's kind of shifted towards Indianapolis' side in terms of momentum.
And that line has not kept the Colt defense out.
No, it has not. That's a great job by Greg Minuski dialing up that blitz on 2nd down.
Jacob Shum kicking from the end zone, and Quan Bray to return. Another good kick. Bray back to the 33. Bray breaks something, gets into Buccaneer territory before he goes out of bounds. And the best field position of the day for the Indianapolis Colts coming up. They trail Tampa Bay by 3.
Today's game is sponsored by K Jewelers. Every kiss begins with K.
Sea of blue here in Indianapolis, and the Indianapolis Colts in prime position now, best starting field position, and actually in Tampa Bay's end of the field, 46-yard line.
5-8, Mike.
Both quarterbacks have faced pressure today. From the 46, the pitch to Frank Gore. going outside and tripped up by Sterling Moore. A loss of 4 on the play.
Yeah, that's not where you want Frank Gore. Frank, you don't want him on the edge. That's not his game. His game is on the inside with the patience and power. When you get him, if he can get the quick edge, you want to take it. But that's really well done by the corner. That's just a great play there by Sterling Moore.
And Moore getting away from Good, the rookie right tackle.
See how he ducked under him, Dick, and still had the wherewithal to come back up. That's taught, and that's taught well.
Ready! Ready, high!
Bucs have been outstanding against the rush, against the pass. Another story, another completion to Moncrief. He goes out of bounds inside the 20-yard line. 31 yards. Moncrief the big target today for Matt Hasselbeck.
Yeah, it starts at the line of scrimmage, Dick. He just wins at the line of scrimmage. Right there, he beats Sterling Moore. And Morris, they're playing a cover 2, so he's expecting that safety to come over. But you can't let the receiver get off the line that fast. You got to get your hands on him.
First down at the 19. Throwing again with a short drop into the end zone. Touchdown, T.Y. Hilton.
Looking on the outside, it's just almost the same route, Dick. Same exact route, and this whole thing was set up by, you see how Matt Hasselbeck tried to keep the safety off? It's the same route, it's the same thing. This was the previous completion, the exact replica of what the touchdown was.
4th touchdown catch by Hilton, and Adam Vinatieri with the extra point, and the Colts leading 16-12. That missed extra point looms large. 4-point lead. Hilton with the TD. Notice how the scoring drives are getting lower, and now we're getting scores.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Dante Moncrief, he knew that the safety had been manipulated, and Matthew Hasselbeck saw the same thing.
31-yard touchdown pass, Bobby Rainey, and once again the Bucs will take it out on the 20.
Yeah, let's go back to the touchdown. I'll show you the anatomy of a touchdown versus a cover 2. So here's the guy that you want to manipulate, and the way you do that is with your tight end. This linebacker is going to try to seal him off. You don't want to let him get inside. But when Dwayne Allen comes down, he affects the safety. And why is that important? Because now T.Y. Hilton gets on the backside, and there's no jam. This is the mistake right there. You have to affect that receiver. He did not affect it, and that's the net result. Matt Hasselbeck understands, probably as quickly as anybody in this league, how to manipulate the safety and how to work that cover 2.
Now it'll be interesting to see how Jameis Winston and his offense responds, because the momentum definitely in the Colts' favor, and the first pass is caught for the first down by Mike Evans. The Buccaneers scored on all 3 of their possessions in the first half, Matt, but have punted the first 2 times here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, and they haven't been good on 3rd down, Dick. That's really what's kind of gotten them. The last time they had the penalty, but 3rd down has not been kind to them. Evans did a nice job of coming back to the ball to let Winston be able to have that completion.
From the 32, pitches to Sims. Sims looking for running room, not much there. And Charles Sims can catch as well as run. And it's Clayton Geathers who makes the play finally, no gain. Matt Hasselbeck and Andrew Luck. They say Luck should get back in about 3 weeks. Been the toughest pro year for him. 1-5 as a starter. Hasselbeck 3-0, however. Second down and 10. Winston. And it's Evans again for another first down. And Evans gets out to the 47-yard line before Vontae Davis tackles him, and a gain of 15.
Yeah, and so what they're doing on the top side, just letting him go. You've got to affect the receiver. Monte Davis, they're playing a zone. That doesn't preclude you from getting your hands on him. He knows he has safety help, but the safety help is sitting on the backside. All you're doing is just running inside. That's a gimme.
6'5" against 5'11". That hasn't been a factor yet. 5 catches for Evans, and a first down at the 47 of the Bucs. Here's Sims. And he picks up a couple of yards, getting to midfield.
Jarrell Freeman's able to flow inside out. I watched him down at NFL Films a few years ago, and he had an outstanding year, Jarrell Freeman. Not a real big guy. He can really run, and he's well protected on the inside of that defense, so he's free to roam on the inside. Good player.
2nd and 6 at the 49, the Colts side of the field. Play action. Stalker, good protection. Winston nearly loses his footing, running for the first down and getting it. Jameis Winston runs for the first down.
Dick, he reminds me a lot of Ben Roethlisberger, kind of awkwardly athletic. He's a big, powerful guy. There's some movement things that you think he won't be able to do, and then all of a sudden he does that, and he's off and running, and it doesn't look smooth, but guess what? It's a first down, and that's a big play by the rookie.
9 yards. And Kevin Pamphile is that extra offensive lineman checking in, number 64 for the Bucs. Gets hit, does Winston as he lets it go, and the pass closer to the Colt defender than it was to Mike Evans. And we're talking about Clayton Geathers. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, this ball is not quite delivered the way it should, and here's the reason why. You're going to watch him come off the edge, and it's a free hit right there. Winston knows he's going to be hit. Robert Mathis is bearing down on him. He just can't get enough. Just can't quite get enough.
He got a shot to the face.
Yeah.
It's amazing he threw it as long as he did with that.
That's all arm, and that's a young talent.
So it's 2nd and 10 at the 40 of the Colts. Again, pressure. Stepping out is Winston, and he'll just have to make the best thing. And very close. Jarrell Freeman on the tackle right as he was going out of bounds. Tough.
Yeah, he is tough, and he's a big, physical, strong kid. And he gets the straight arm in there. Nobody wants to take a straight arm, especially from a quarterback. Dick, big 3rd down here. They've not been good on 3rd down. They're 5 out of 9 right now.
He has taken hits, as has the 40-year-old Matt Hasselbeck today. 3rd down and 6. Winston going deep for Evans, and he can't make the play. And I think it was Darius Butler that got a hand on it to knock it away. Evans had screened us, but we'll see whether Butler did indeed make the terrific play.
Well, he had a half a step on him, and Winston puts his ball. That's a heck of a throw. Let's see what happens at the end of this. Oh, just a tad underthrown, but should have made the catch. This goes right through his hands. That is completely on Evans. That's tough. This will be a 54-yard field goal.
Yes. Connor Barth, who missed an extra point earlier, 54-yard field goal indoors, and the kick is no good. So Barth misses a chance to bring the Bucs to within 1. A flag is down, however, at the line of scrimmage.
It's going to go against Tampa Bay. Kendall Langford was happy with the explanation he got from the official.
And if it does, it'll be good field position for the Colts after that miss.
Well, if it's a post-possession or
after the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 70 of the kicking team. That 15-yard penalty will be assessed from the spot of the kick.
Veteran Logan
First down.
Mankins, 11-year veteran. You would say he should know better.
Yeah, he should.
Jarrell Freeman, the linebacker for the Colts, walking off the field on his own power. Meanwhile, as a result of that unsportsmanlike call penalty against Logan Mankins, the Colts, for the second straight possession, have the ball in Bucs territory to start a drive. They're at the 41 here. Play action. The pass caught at the 40 by Jack Doyle, tight end. Picks up about 5 yards. Last two possessions, Colts offense certainly coming alive. First with the field goal and then the touchdown. They lead by 4. Looks like Hasselbeck really wants to put the pedal to the metal right here. It'll be second down and 5 from the 36.
Indianapolis hasn't helped themselves, Dick. They've got 9 penalties for 81 yards. Indianapolis has been pretty good, 2 for 15.
Hasselbeck on the screen to Gore. He's about a yard shy of the first down. David and Werner. Let's go down to Peter Schrager. Hasselbeck has a connection with almost everyone. Who in particular, Peter?
Yeah, how about Andrew Luck? He joked this week, Hasselbeck, that he's got a wife and 3 kids, but he's really married to Andrew Luck this year. He relies on Luck for a lot. They're still running Pep Hamilton's offense. Of course, Hamilton was let go as the offensive coordinator. Now Rob Chudzinski's in, and Luck knows that offense better than Hasselbeck. Says the two of those guys, they're together. And that's just amazing because unlike him, Andrew Luck, he's never been a backup in his life. So this is really rare territory for him, and he's doing the job wonderfully.
As is Gore, who gets the first down for the Colts. The two working well together. Isn't that great for Luck, who's had success to have the influence of a Hasselbeck?
And you know, Dick, he will benefit from this, as oddly as that sounds. He's seeing the game from a different perspective. He's anticipating things from a different perspective, and he'll see things open differently. He'll be a better player having had that coaching hat on than he would having played through the whole thing. Just a different perspective.
First down at the 31 of the Bucs. Here comes the pressure. Hasselbeck got hit as he tried to get it to T.Y. Hilton. It was William Golston. Well, the changing look of Matt Hasselbeck, who started with the Packers and then went to the Seattle Seahawks. I wonder if his passport photos have followed suit.
Yeah, you know? I hope not, because right about here in 08, and that's about when his brother came up to him and said, look, you got to do something about it. Just let it go already. And he kind of let the whole thing go and let the rest of that hair fall off. But let me tell you something. Hair or no hair, that is one tough sucker. He's 40 years old. He's going to feel it a lot tomorrow. But he knew exactly that he was going to get hit. He knew where he had to get to with the ball, and it sets up this second and long.
Meanwhile, an injured Buccaneer, Bruce Carter, being tended to at around the 45-yard line.
You know, I've known Matthew Hasselbeck for a long time. I mean, he was a little kid. His dad played with us for the Raiders. Donnie Hasselbeck was a tight end, and he came over to us and had a heck of a career. And so Matthew's been around the league in one form or another for his whole life. So he's understood the game. He's understood it from a player perspective. When his dad was playing, he understood the expectations, and now himself playing. That guy, he's a joy to be around, and he loves to play the game. And that last piece, Dick, is probably the main reason why he's still here.
No question. And you know, he says, I don't take anything for granted. And you think you're 40 years old, you don't have to be as conditioned as you have. He spends extra time being in condition with his team. And I think his temperament, his great sense of humor that he has really helps he and the team pretty well.
Absolutely.
Lucky.
It'll be second and 10 on the 31 after Carter comes off on his own.
Ready, high.
Pass, and Hilton is there, and they'll rule it a catch.
That's a heck of a catch.
Great catch.
He had to have his hands. Now he's saying it's incomplete, but were his hands under? If his hands were under and controlled the ball, then they'll allow it. Let's see what happens. Just a little bit out of our purview right there.
Well, you have improved your vocabulary since we started working together in '94.
I read it someplace. Well, I wrote it down and then I read it. That's what I did. Yeah, so that is, it looks like he pulls it up and controls it.
But another official, and you rarely see that where you see it, a completion called and another official come over. We haven't seen all of that much.
Well, this is a great job of officiating from the side judge to the head linesman. And they're going to let this thing go through.
And a 3rd down and 10. And now we have the challenge flag thrown by Pagano, who already has missed on a challenge. I think that hit the ground, don't you?
Yeah, and he controlled it. So you remember in the Super Bowl a few years ago.
Indianapolis is challenging the ruling on the field of an incomplete pass.
And it was Tampa against St. Louis in St. Louis. And this happened, and they changed the rule from that time on. If you have your hands under and you control the ball, then they'll say that it is a catch. And
I don't think he does.
Yeah, the point did hit the ground.
I don't think his hand was under, though.
So I don't think there's enough there to overturn. So they'll go with the the call on the field. But what an effort by Hilton to come back to that thing.
T.Y. Hilton, who caught the touchdown pass. 4-point lead with 1:38 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Dick Stockton, Matt Millen, Peter Schrager. Colts come into the game tied with the Houston Texans for first place in the AFC South. And not only battling for division honors, but for wild card as well, as all the wild cards are right around the 500 mark in the AFC in an unusual year. And of course, the Buccaneers really in the playoff hunt now and need this win to get over 500.
Bill O'Brien's got his team playing pretty good football.
Yes, he does.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is confirmed of a completed catch. No, incomplete. The pass is incomplete.
So the
ball hit the ground.
They teased us.
Indianapolis was charged with their first time out.
And also out of challenges is Chuck Pagano.
Correct.
He is out of challenges.
Now I know you can't do this, but if he would have just said, "Nah, I'm just kidding."
Confirmed, the ball hit the ground. 3rd down.
Basically, the result was it was an incomplete pass.
First team timeout.
That's Walt Coleman, the referee. He's been at it for a long time.
27 years.
And he does a great job.
Yes,
so does his crew. I agree with the call. And they may not like it, but I agree with the call. Per rule, that's the way it should be.
And now the Colts have only 2 timeouts remaining. Kind of a costly challenge when you really think about it. No more challenges and one less timeout, and you're in the second half.
And you're at 3rd down, and they're 50% right now on 3rd down.
By the way, Bruce Carter of the Bucs saw him shaken up coming off, is being evaluated for a concussion. So it'll be 3rd down and 10.
Go!
Playing a soft zone.
Hasselbeck, and wide open is Toby Fleener, and he is tackled immediately by Bradley McDougald. How about McDougald in the game he's played? Gain of 5, 4th down coming up, and Vinatieri comes on again.
So you see Fleener, he shows right away. Now why is that a big time play? Because they matched it up. They were in a zone, but they matched it up. McDougald was the only guy who could make that tackle. If he doesn't, Fleener's still running. Well done by McDougald.
So Vinatieri, perfect on the day, will attempt a 44-yarder. And Adam Vinatieri, almost automatic. And the Colts now lead it by a score of 19-12, up by a touchdown. NFL Play 60, the NFL's movement for a more active generation, encourages fans to get moving and play for 60 minutes every day. Run, jump, and race to Super Bowl 50 with the free NFL Play 60 app. Download today or go to NFLrush.com to learn more. So a 7-point lead for the Colts.
That lack of an extra point still going to come back.
Well, it does, because if it had been 6, a touchdown and extra point would give you the lead. Now the best you can do is tie if you get the touchdown. Matt Hasselbeck on the day, 20 for 34, 257 yards, and a touchdown. We have not had a turnover in this game. Games are pretty clean that way. 1:02 remaining in the third. There's a scoring drive. Tampa Bay had missed a field goal, so they have, as we say, left 4 points on the table. We're going to clean up that table, right, Matt?
They're going to have to.
McAfee will kick off.
Look, this is a position that the Colts did not want Matthew Hasselbeck to be in, and that's to carry the team on his back. That's what he's done today.
Bobby Rainey, it's the same old story. Kick to the back of the end zone, and the Bucs will start from the 20. Well, we've had a few injuries in this game. Let's get the update from Peter Schrager.
Yeah, guys, you're talking about Jarrell Freeman. He was walking off. It's a hamstring, and he is now out for the remainder of the game. Look for Nate Irving to be coming in that linebacker spot, filling in for him. But Jarrell Freeman, he's done.
That's tough.
Thank you. That is tough. You lose that. And so Nate Irving played with the Broncos last year.
Yeah, number 55 right there in the middle.
Right in your scorecard.
Special teams guy. Now he gets his chance.
First down on the 20. Winston. Great catch by Jackson. And he gets it up to the 41-yard line and a first down in one of the rare times that there was perfect protection for Jameis Winston, 21 yards.
And great coverage. And so here's the difference for a big receiver. See how he tries to undercut it? He runs under it, he throws it on top. And that's just being 6'5" and going up and getting it. That's nice. Eyes are where we want to be. That's Winston's growing in leaps and bounds. It's really fun to watch.
Kevin Pamphile, the extra offensive lineman on first down. Here's Doug Martin. And even when you tackle him, he's going to pick up a couple. Lowry, the free safety, but Martin gets 5 on the play. He's over 100 yards today.
Yes, he is. And he does it in that kind of short, compact style that he has. But when he has an opportunity to burst, he can do it.
He had 4 touchdowns the first time he gained over 200 yards. That was in Oakland, his hometown. That's the end of the third quarter with the score. Colts 19, the Bucs 12. Fox NFL Sunday will return after these messages and a word from your local Fox station. Start of the fourth, and the Colts lead by 7. It'll be 2nd and 5 for the Buccaneers on the 46. Come up empty so far in this third quarter. Winston tripped up from behind, loose ball.
I think he's down. Yeah, the official's coming in right there at the top of your screen.
He was down by contact back.
You got it.
At the 39.
So he's looking downfield and he's got good coverage. Now he feels the pressure inside and tripped up right there by Walden, it looked like.
Yes.
And he was down by contact. That's the proper call and a good call by the official. Knees down.
Meanwhile, it presents a 3rd and long, Matt.
And he'd been 50% on 3rd down. This is 3rd and 11. It's where the Colts want him right here. Let's see what kind of coverage they're giving him.
On their own 40. Here comes a blitz from the secondary, and the linebacker will get him. Nate Irving, who came in for the injured Terrell Freeman, comes in and gets the sack and a loss of 7 yards. Well executed on the first. It looked like a safety blitz.
And Dick, a great call by Greg Minuski, their defensive coordinator. It's 3rd and long, 3rd and 11, and you're going to say, okay, we're going to give you a zone, but no. They come with Irvin to the inside, and he's able to beat Hawley to the top side of his shoulder. Never run through the middle of a man, always split him in half and beat a corner, and that's what he did.
4th down, and Jacob Shum will be punting. Quan Bray is back for the Colts, who have certainly stolen the momentum here in the second half, and he calls for a fair catch at the 30-yard line. So, once again, having the pleasure to work with my first partner. We started 1994 with Matt Millen on this game. Great to be with you. But I have one little question for you. We had several good years, and then you departed. What happened? Where'd you go?
A little bit of a tactical error on my part, boys. I had this fleeting dream that I thought maybe I could run a team. Sorry, Detroit. It didn't quite work out.
Yeah, but I'm glad to be back with you today.
It was a great experience, though, Dick, and it was one of those things that you had to do. You can't turn it down, and we did it, and so we move on.
Not many people have that chance.
No, stay inside.
First down for Hasselbeck and the Colts on the 24. He get time, and he completes the pass to Kobe Fleener, and the tight end picking up about 5 yards on first down. Good job. You see the thumbs up from Matt Hasselbeck.
Yeah, Matt's in control right now. He's in control of this game, and he knows it. He's familiar and comfortable with the coverage he's throwing against. He's familiar and comfortable with the protection he's getting.
8 different targets today, Matt.
Yeah, and did not want to be the guy to have to carry the load, but he's comfortable doing it.
And has thrown 35 passes already. Here's Frank Gore on the run. They haven't been able to do much of that. And for a game break, let's check in with Kurt Menefee.
Kansas City trying to win his 5th straight, holding on against Buffalo. Tyrod Taylor hooks up with LaShawn McCoy for the 10-yard score. But they missed the 2-point conversion, and that's the difference right now as they get towards the end of the 3rd quarter. Now to our version of Throwback Thursday and Dick Stockton and Matt Miller.
Thank you, Kurt. Appreciate that. 3rd down and 5 from the 29 now.
Rock. Play.
Hasselbeck has all day. Completes. First down to Whalen. And a flag is down. And the loose ball picked up by Jacquez Smith. But there's a penalty marker down, and that's going to affect what we just saw. You can see the holding, very assertive is Matt Hasselbeck on what he thinks the penalty will be.
Well, he had enough time to watch the whole thing.
Yeah, he did.
And he was very patient waiting on that route. Watch the protection first. Just a 4-man rush with a twist. And he's good with it. See how he waits. He's eyeballing it the whole time. And this is what he's looking at. They come out with a bunch, and they're looking for a hold. I didn't see a hold there on Whalen at all. Unless it was someplace else.
Sterling Moore forced the fumble, and you can see the reaction first of Hasselbeck and the Bucs.
We have fouls on both teams prior to the pass, holding number 21 defense. After the interception, personal foul, horse collar, number 58 of the offense. Those penalties will offset. We'll replay 3rd down.
He meant the fumble recovery, not the interception. Right. Yeah, here's Jacquez Smith, and they get him. Yeah, it's an offensive lineman. That's good. It's not very often he has a chance to be able to make a tackle. Denzel Good comes back.
And now that horse collar.
So the net result is nothing. Go back to 3rd down where they're.
So forget about it.
5 for 11 on 3rd down here.
3rd down and 5 from the 29. And now the Colts. There's some movement. Ball start.
71 offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
That's Denzel Good. Let's see that horse collar, and let's see what kind of a play it was.
Yeah, he got him from the top side.
Yeah.
And he kept on holding it. Yeah, they're going to call that every time.
You know, that could be a bad injury, too. You get dragged down in that form. Meanwhile, the 9th penalty against Tampa Bay, and then the Colts with 3. That was a false start. So instead of 3rd and 5, it's 3rd and 10 now. Back on the 24. Hasselbeck. And it's complete to Moncrief. Moncrief's the missed tackle. He's tiptoes down the sideline, stays in bounds before he goes out of bounds, and a first down. And it was I.J. Barima who missed the tackle, and the Colts get a first down.
Remember earlier we talked about McDougal and how he's the one guy who has to make the play. Barima has to make this tackle, and his angle was poor, and Moncrief runs right through it to the tune of a first down. The difference in the play, the missed tackle.
13 yards and an injured Buccaneer back at the 10-yard line. And it's Jacquez Smith, who is a potent pass rusher along with Gerald McCoy, and he is walking off, and that would be a huge loss for the Bucs defense if he can't go on.
Howard Jones would be the guy who would come in to be able to rush the passer instead of Smith.
And no slouch there is Howard Jones.
Dick, I'll tell you, Moncrief has been huge on third down. He has 3 of them here on third down. They've only been they're 6 out of 12. They're 50%, but he's responsible for 3 of them. He's come up huge on third down.
Has 5 catches for 77 yards. Hilton also with 5 receptions.
Watch your slant, watch your slant, alert angle.
From the 37, first down, Moncrief is going in motion. Here's Frank Gore. Is not unleashed, but there's a flag you see on the right side. Another penalty. Remember, the Colts have only committed 3 up to this point.
Quan Alexander does a really nice job.
Illegal use of hands to the face, 95 defense. 5-yard penalty assessed from the end of the run. First down.
That's Howard Jones. 10th penalty against Bucs.
You're going to see him right down here. He's going to get hands to the face. So he gets up, and you know, he never really got to his face. He stayed in his shoulder. You see it? He has his shoulder pad and has it pushed up.
So 8 yards in all, 3-yard run and the penalty, and a first down at the 45. Gore. And Gore picking up a couple of yards on first down. 4 minutes gone by here in the fourth quarter. Dick Stockton along with Matt Millen and Peter Schrager. Quan Alexander making the tackle, and there's the shifts going on up front by the Bucs.
Going with pace right here. I like this. They're picking it up, see if they can't get them stuck in the same defense.
Normally they don't do that. Hasselbeck going underneath, and it's caught again by Moncrief, and a first down into Buccaneer territory to the 41. Picking up 11 more.
Yeah, you start talking about playing this cover 2. And you're going to see, so you're going to have the 2 people down here, and then what it is 5 people underneath playing the zone. And it's they get soft right here. They bite on the inside, and then you let it off. So you take the inside defender, the number 2 defender, and run him off with Moncrief. You just come back underneath, and it's just pitch and catch. Hasselbeck knows this defense inside and out. He's very patient, and he throws it to the right guy.
Here's Bradshaw. That may be the best run of the day by the Colts. Lansana makes the tackle, and Jack Doyle, the tight end, with a nifty block and a 7-yard gain on first down. This could be a big drive for the Colts if they can.
This is huge right now.
Up into a 2-touchdown lead.
Absolutely.
With under 10 to go, it'd be big.
Even if they got 3, if they got a 1 score here, if it's 3 points.
Let it roll, let it roll.
Frank Gore back in. And it's Gore. And he'll be knocked down for a loss by Quan Alexander. By the way, Alexander has been suspended for 4 games, violation of the league's substance abuse policy. That's been revealed, and he has 5 days to appeal it. So he's playing today, and we'll see what he does, but a very integral part of the Tampa Bay defense.
Well, he saw an opening on the inside, and he made the decision to take it. Now, it doesn't always work out, but when you run as well as he does, your chances increase.
Jacquizz Smith has a hamstring pull, doubtful as to his return. Big third down coming up, 3rd and 6. Hasselbeck with time, and it's caught for the first down by Dante Moncrief. A huge game for Moncrief, and a first down for the Colts.
Yeah, and that's 3rd down conversion number 4 for Moncrief. He has been the guy that Hasselbeck has been looking for. Yeah, Matt just gets rid of the ball so fast, see things really quickly, and Moncrief does the rest.
7 catches, the 9-yard pickup there, and the Colts at 54% third down conversions and 8 different receivers figuring for Matt today.
Settle. Ready! Right.
First down at the 28. Deep drop this time. And another catch by Moncrief. It's like a broken record and another first down.
Yeah, they're going after I.J. Barima. And Barima is in pretty decent shape, but you can't just play off like that. They're attacking him and they're going after him. And until he tightens that up, they're going to continue to do it.
16-yard gain, and Barima, along with Moore, coming in the last several games to bolster the secondary, but not so much today. The next pass Hasselbeck throws will be his 40th of the game.
Wow.
By 4.
From the 12, here's Bradshaw, and maybe a yard, that's all.
I just think it's amazing for Matthew Hasselbeck. You know, he just talking to him, he didn't want to be the guy to have to carry the load. He knew that he'd want to be able to have that running game going, and he also knows that when you get stepped on from your center, it really hurts. Look at that. He's like, ah! I used to hate that.
It's the toughest punishment he's had all day, although he has been hit a couple of times. Frank Gorin again. From the 12, second down and 10. Hasselbeck has to ad-lib, and the pass is incomplete. Good pressure that time by both Henry Melton, who was shaken up earlier, and William Golston.
Yeah, Henry Melton with a nice job of getting over Thornton, the guard, and getting the pressure, but Matthew Hasselbeck, great wherewithal, understands where he's at. Just throw it to nowhere and get at or beyond the line of scrimmage and get outside that box, and you're in good shape. Sets up this third down.
Boy, he's been under siege a lot today as Hasselbeck, and Jameis Winston for that matter as well. It'll be third down and 10 from the 12.
Big third down right here. If they hold him to a field goal, that's a relative win.
Hurry! Yeah.
They faked the pass to the left and getting rid of it in a hurry. He had Bradshaw right there.
Yeah, that was one of his inner Favre moves again. You see that? He knew he didn't have anything. He just flipped it down real quick to get away.
So Adam Vinatieri. Who else? 4 for 4 on the day.
But this makes it a 2-score game, Dick. This is a significant field goal.
6:35 on the clock. So that was, as you mentioned, that was a big win for the Tampa Bay defense not to fall 2 touchdowns down. Vinatieri with a 30-yard try.
Heck, they should have tried to go into Moncrief. He's been the guy on third downs.
Almost automatic.
Yeah.
And the kick is good. Tampa Bay went high to try to get a piece of that one.
I don't know how he missed it.
Flag is down, however, penalty marker.
Well, now if he used one of his teammates to get over the top, then that'll come back.
Chris Conte
got some. He got vertical. That could be a first. Let's see what he does. No, he jumped right over him. How did he miss that?
He didn't use a teammate there.
No, he did not. He jumped right over him. No, didn't run. I don't think he hit the holder out.
You know, they do have a penalty for roughing the ball holder.
That's what it is.
Roughing the ball holder. First I've seen that since Notre Dame and Syracuse played in '63. I'm not kidding.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, leaping number 53 of the defense. Half the distance of the goal, automatic first down.
It's Conde number 23, but it's a huge, huge penalty. And will give the Colts a first down, half the distance to the goal line. Mike Pereira, what do you think here?
Well, it's certainly not leaping. I mean, you can actually go from the line of scrimmage and jump over the top as long as you don't land on anybody, which he doesn't do. And then you do have running into the holder. So really, it's a penalty one way or the other, but it's not for leaping, that's for sure.
I think it was, thank you, Mike. I think it was 62. Syracuse lost to Notre Dame in South Bend. I never got over it.
I remember that well.
First and goal at the 6. Hand off to Bradshaw. And Bradshaw gets inside the 5. Loose ball. And the Buccaneers, unless Bradshaw was down in contact, and the officials are talking to each other.
Yep, they're talking to see if it's down. Now the head linesman's putting his hands up and his foot down. Let's see. That's the right call. His knee was down before the ball came out.
3-yard gain.
Yeah.
And now we have the challenge flag thrown by Lovie Smith.
Tampa Bay is challenging the ruling on the field that the runner was down.
And a good challenge, I think, at this stage, obviously.
Well,
you have to do it.
Absolutely, especially at the 6-minute mark.
It's either you're getting the ball back or the Colts are threatening for another score.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Chevrolet. Find new roads. By Lowe's. Hurry in today for great winter savings. And by the all-new LG V10. Capture the in-between moments.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field stands. Tampa Bay will be charged with their first team timeout.
Ooh,
Mike,
boy.
will you clarify this for us as far as what has to be down, or whether it's a fumble, or whether it was down by contact?
Yeah, the question here is, does the back of the hand hit the ground, and does the ball come out simultaneously with that? The back of the hand does not put you down. You have to get all the way to the forearm. They felt it was too close to overturn, but again, if the first thing that hits is the back of the hand and then it comes out simultaneously, that would make it a fumble. But they have been staying with calls on the field if they're at all close.
Yeah, they have been. And so they stuck with it here. A big break for the Colts, who have a 2nd and goal on the 3. And Hasselbeck with the pass, touchdown. Completes the deal there. T.Y. Hilton with the grab. And the Colts can open up a 2-touchdown lead with a conversion with under 6 minutes left.
Well, they've been going against I.J. Barima all day, and that ball is on him, and he's out of that break really fast. That's just unless you get your hands on him and play it really tight coverage, that's going to happen every time.
Interestingly enough, I.J. Barima would have recovered the ball if they ruled it to fumble. He was there for the recovery. Instead, the 2nd touchdown catch of the day by T.Y. Hilton. Hasselbeck, 2 touchdowns today. 42 attempts, 26 completions. And Adam Vinatieri with the extra point. Not a great snap. And they miss. The snap was not good to Matt Overton. Matt Overton with the long snap. McAfee with the holder and the missed extra point, 25-12. McAfee will kick off. There's the scoring drive, 15 plays, and the Tampa Bay penalty to extend the drive. Adam Vinatieri misses his 2nd extra point of the season, but it wasn't his fault, as we will explain if we don't see it. And Bobby Rainey will down it for the touchback.
You know, Dick, sometimes a picture is worth 1,000 words. The bad snap, it's errant. The hold is not good. Vinatieri's forced to have to kick the laces, and the look on his face afterwards is absolutely priceless.
Today's game is sponsored by Cricket Wireless, the Merrier Carrier.
And here in Indianapolis, the Colts lead the Buccaneers 25-12. That's who we are. In the first half, a lot of drives that ended up in field goals. And in the second half, Matt Hasselbeck with a couple of touchdown passes. That's been the difference. But now the Buccaneers starting from the 20. 2 scores down, and the Bucs, Jameis Winston overthrows Evans. And it'll be 2nd down.
And so this is where we'll see if Jameis Winston has learned in the first 10 games. You don't have to get the whole thing back at once. You get it back in pieces. Whatever they're giving you, you continue to take.
Those are Winston's numbers. Doug Martin has gained 101 yards. 5th time this year he's done it. Evans and Jackson have been the big receivers. On 2nd and 10, they go short to Brate, the tight end, who has a touchdown catch. And gets 5 yards with Nate Irving on the tackle. Vinatieri with 4 field goals today, but Hasselbeck with 42 passes. That's been his game.
5 out of 11 on 3rd down.
3rd down and 5.
Here's the pressure.
1st down, Brate. Cameron Brate, who played at Harvard and caught a touchdown pass last week as well as this week. Picks up 8 yards and a 1st down, and it's a hurry-up offense here for the Bucs.
That's smart by Jameis Winston. Again, don't get the whole thing. Take it in pieces. A lot of time.
Pressure, and Winston goes down. That's the 5th sack of the game. And that's the most allowed by the Bucs this year. And it was Trent Cole, the former Eagle, and a loss on the play.
And he beats the rookie Donovan Smith on that top
Penalty
left
flag
tackle.
down.
After the play is over, personal foul, number 67, defense, 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
That's
And
a first.
a critical penalty against T.Y. McGill. And instead of a long makeup yardage-wise for Tampa Bay, they will have a 1st down with 4:55 on the clock. McGill explaining to Pagano, who acts like he doesn't want to hear it.
Yeah, Dick, there's no excuses, no explanations. Explanations are just excuses after the fact. It happened, you got to move on. There's nothing you can do about it. And
There it is.
It's a smack.
Obvious.
Now, what you don't see is Hawley's left hand on his face mask. What you do see is the smack to the face by McGill, and the net results a 1st down.
Lost 8 yards, but the penalty gives Tampa Bay hope. A 1st down on their 33.
Great job by
Winston taking off. 1st down, slides nicely to the 45 of the Colts.
Yeah, he looked downfield. There's nowhere to go, but great awareness. And so he scanned the field and saw his out to the left, and he's up and running.
15 yards on that scamper. Another completion, this one to Adam Humphries, former Clemson player, and another 1st down. Brate with a touchdown. That was Tampa Bay's effort. Now Hasselbeck hits T.Y. Hilton for the first of 2 touchdown passes. Winston gets hit in the face in that kind of a game. And the 2 touchdowns to Hilton. 1st down. Jameis Winston with time. And incomplete.
Well, that was close.
Incomplete to Brandon Myers.
Yeah, DeQuell Jackson with a nice break inside out. Let's see if he doesn't hit him beforehand. I thought he did.
That was Luke Stocker.
Yeah. Looks like DeQuell Jackson got there just a split second soon.
4:21 on the clock. Each team with 2 timeouts left. 2nd and 10 on the 36. Pass is caught about 3 yards shy of the 1st down to Cameron Brate when they mark it, maybe 2 yards behind.
But Dick, with 2 scores down, it's 3rd down. So you have 3rd and 4th down to be able to get this. Again, take what they give you. You don't have to be a hog right here and get the whole thing. Just go get the 1st.
They're on the 27 of the Colts. And this pass bouncing in front of Vincent Jackson, incomplete. And it's 4th down and 2. No question here what the Bucs need to do. Dirk Cutter will dial up the play on 4th down.
And that right there, Dick, I thought he tried to get too much. He had 2 guys in the flats to get the 1st. He tried to hit it down the seam, sets up this 4th down.
Could be the game right here if Tampa Bay doesn't make it. Winston throws, and it's incomplete. Break the intended receiver, and the Colts will take over on downs. 25-12 lead with 3:46 remaining. And we'll return to Indianapolis in just a moment. Big defensive play. Number 55, Nate Irving, who came into the game when Jarrell Freeman had to leave the contest, and the former Denver Bronco covering Cameron Brate, who's been an effective tight end, and allowing the Colts to stop the Bucs on 4th down and take over on downs. From the 27. No secret what they're going to do here. And Gore, no gain on the play, so a timeout called by Tampa Bay.
All you young linebackers, I want you to watch. His eyes are back inside, he's beat. Now he knows he's beat. Get your eyes right to the man, and because he did that, he was able to reestablish himself and see his eyes when the receiver's eyes open. You make the play, and Bruce Irvin did a phenomenal job. Now, Evans won it on the side. He wanted a call. He thought it was interference, but it didn't happen.
And the timeout taken by the Bucs. They have one left. Evans still vocal over that call, and you're right. It's not a matter of not following the ball as a receiver and a cornerback do.
Right. Yeah, no, Nate Irvin, he got beat initially, but then he got his eyes back right where they had to be. That's just really well done.
2nd and 10, 3:41 to go. And here's Gore again. And Gore will get a couple of yards, and the Buccaneers will call their 3rd and final timeout. And let's check in with Mike Hill for a game break. Mike.
Guys, Odell Beckham Jr. about to break the internet again. Watch this catch from Eli Manning. 3 words, beautiful. Giants right back in this one, 20-14 late in the 4th. Dick, Matt, back to you.
Huge game for them, Mike, and they fell back and showing some life. Just when you think they're going to sail, they flop, and now they're trying to sail again against the Redskins.
They have enough weapons to be able to sail against anybody. And when that NFC East is interesting.
Well, let's take a look at the NFC East, and if the Redskins win, they would be in 1st place because they have a tiebreaker edge by beating the Giants so far in the head-to-head. So it's been a crazy quilt season in the NFL in many divisions. And that'll be a false start.
False start, number 71, offense, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Well, that's the last thing you want, is to give ground, prevent the clock from starting, Matt, and make it tougher for your quarterback, although we know.
Well, you're coming off of a timeout,
right.
so that part is fine, but now you go from 3rd and 8 to 3rd and longer and 3rd and 13. So now you're saying, are you going to throw the ball or are you not going to throw the ball? And they can't. Keep it on the ground, trust your defense, got 2 scores.
Denzel Good committing the penalty, and Gore stopped by Lantana, but the Buccaneers cannot stop the clock. And 4th down coming up. And the Colts will be in no hurry. And you know, as you see, Luck saying, let's get off the field in a hurry so we don't have a delay of the game penalty.
Exactly.
Matt Hasselbeck, 26 of 42, 315 yards, 2 touchdowns. The 40-year-old.
Again, didn't want to have to do that, but he was, I'm sure he's pleased to be able to do it.
Fountain of youth, this man is found. And McAfee with the punt. Rainey letting it drop.
It's a mistake. Don't be offsides. Don't rough the kicker. Don't let the ball hit the ground. Those are the 3 things of the kicking game.
All right, next week, America's Game of the Week. 2 undefeated teams. How about this? New England, Carolina. How about the defense? And of course, New England is playing Denver later, and the Carolina Panthers, with a remain undefeated. Cam Newton putting on a show whenever he scores. It's the Pearl Harbor scene for the pregame show, live at 11 a.m., and that was our schedule. So a big week of football, of course, next week, right here on Fox. First down, Winston will have to put it in the air, and he does.
Oh, he's got him.
And he's going deep for Evans, but overthrows him. Evans had beaten the defenders, but the pass not on the mark by Winston.
No, he just beat him right to start thing. It wasn't even close. And so he dipped inside to the safety, and he went right past him. Had that thing been thrown a little more, and Winston knows it, that was 6.
Toller and Lowry were back there with him. Evans has 5 catches, 64 yards, second down and 10. 2:34 to go. We'll have the stoppage of the clock and the 2-minute warning. And this pass flagged down is off the hands of Adam Humphries. And a penalty against the Colts coming up.
Yeah, against Colts.
Prior to the pass, holding, number 20, defense. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Darius Butler, tell me the theory of you're leading by so much, no more timeouts, penalties on the defense.
It just kills you. You can't have a penalty, you can't stop the clock, but you can't also give up big gains and big gains and big plays. And so you want to be playing, you have 2:25 here to go. You have 2 scores that they have to get. So give them the underneath stuff. That doesn't matter.
That's what I mean. First down. Intercepted. Dwight Lowry.
Remember when I said you don't have to be a hog. You don't have to get it all at once. Well, Jameis Winston just learned a lesson. He tried to be a hog right there.
Jonathan Newsom put the pressure, and the interception by Dwight Lowry, the former Falcon, and the first turnover of the game.
It's been clean up until this point, and he had time, but he's trying to get the whole. You don't have to get it. That never had a chance. They're just sitting on the back end there.
No receiver within sight.
Yeah. Well, he's trying to get to Jackson on that over route, but the safeties are sitting back there. Take the underneath stuff. Be patient. It takes a little more time, but at least you give yourself a chance.
Part of the learning process.
Absolutely.
For Jameis
Yep,
Winston.
He's come a long way, but there's obviously more to go.
And this will take us down to the 2-minute warning. So Jameis Winston, who went to town against the Eagles with 5 touchdown passes, 5 different receivers today, facing great pressure from the Colt defense. And I think that might have been the big thing, the Colt defense against the offensive line of Tampa Bay. 2-minute warning. We'll be right back. Back here in Indianapolis, Dick Stockton back together with my old partner, Matt Millen, Peter Schrager down on the field. And 2 minutes remaining in the game. Tampa Bay has been out of timeouts. And the interception giving the Colts the ball and leading 25-12 for Chuck Pagano, headed for a 6th win against 5 losses. And would keep pace with the Houston Texans, who beat the Saints 24-6. So they would remain tied with Houston for first place in the AFC South.
And more important, Dick, they're starting to play their best football. And if you had to pick one guy who carried the torch here today, it's clearly Matthew Hasselbeck. Matthew Hasselbeck was the difference in the pressure he was getting, got rid of the ball fast, he was accurate with it, and he saw the whole field, and he's the difference in the game today.
So in a season in which the backup quarterbacks have not really excelled that much, and they don't always do, this one has. And he will go to 4-0 as a starter, will Matt Hasselbeck, and a 3rd straight win for the Colts as well, as we get to a minute remaining. Let's take a look at the remaining schedule. 3 of the last 4 games against divisional foes.
Yeah, you can look at the schedule and you can see that they're going to have a chance in all of them. But he reminds me kind of Darryl LaMonica back in the old days, and George Blanda. When Blanda would come in and take the Raiders to some big wins, and he defied the age, and Matthew Hasselbeck is doing the same thing.
A throwback, to say the least. And of course, 3 of the last 4 against divisional foes, and they don't lose against divisional teams. And you can see the smile on the face of Matt Hasselbeck as he comes through again. The Colts calling a timeout with 34 seconds remaining. Let's take a look at the Tampa Bay Bucs, who will drop to 5-6, but believe it or not, still in the wild card fight. They have Atlanta, a team they already beat. Falcons lost today. Then in New Orleans coming up at home as well. And the remaining games of their schedule, they finish Carolina, you wonder whether the Panthers are going to have that undefeated thing going into that last week.
Yeah, I remember a few years back when it was the New York Giants and the San Francisco 49ers on a collision course. Both were undefeated. And then that ended. Huge
Game today for the Colts as McAfee punting to Rainey with a fair catch at the 5-yard line. How about Dante Moncrief? 8 catches for 114 yards, and T.Y. Hilton 2 touchdown receptions as well. They couldn't run the ball today, and it didn't really matter with Hasselbeck's arm.
Yeah, initially it looked like it was going to be that way, who would run the ball, but Matthew Hasselbeck took the thing over. And Dante Moncrief on 3rd down was exactly what he had to be. Hasselbeck knew where he was. They went after the young corner, and it paid dividends.
So big win for the Colts after winning in Atlanta last week, coming back home to only even their home season record of 3-3.
78 offense, half the distance to the goal,
and
still first down.
Charles will be called for the false start. But it's an amazing season. You know, the Green Bay Packers, Minnesota, of course, have solid records in the NFC North. And there's the pass to Sims. He'll get the first down. And that may be the last play of the game. But as far as the other wild card is concerned, up for grabs. And the Bucs are still in it. Final seconds of the game. And the Indianapolis Colts win it 25-12 over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So for Matt Millen and Peter Schrager, Dick Stockton saying so long, and the State Farm post-game show will be coming up next, right after these messages. Big win for the Colts.